Everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Wednesday. I keep getting mixed up. I don't know where the week's going, and the days are all blending together. But it's Wednesday, and I'm here with a technique. So I'm going to make a fun fold. Maybe it's a fancy fold. I never know what the distinction is. Excuse me. I tend to call them all fancy folds, but I don't know. Other people call them different things. So this is I'm calling it a fancy fold. It's called a 2468 card, and you use a piece of 12-inch designer series paper, not the full piece, but kind of almost half a piece. And it's a fun way to, one, use up that designer series paper that we all have, and to create a bit of a fun fold that is kind of fun to play with. Hey Pam, welcome. I'm going to use I think this one's called Delightfully Eclectic. It's a package of designer series paper that you get 48 sheets. It's a really great deal. Hey, Felicia. And there are some really pretty pieces of designer series paper in there. I found one that is petal pink and it's either crushed curry or daffodil delight. I'm going with crushed curry, and it's daisies. So it could coordinate with a fresh as a daisy suite. I'm not doing that. I'm going to keep it pretty simple. But it's just such a pretty piece of paper. And something else to tell you. Oh, I have been playing with some of the new product from the new catalog, the new mini catalog. My stuff arrived yesterday. I was very disciplined and didn't open it because I'm trying to get some things done. But this morning, after working hard to finish up some tutorials and kits, I actually opened it and I've made 3 cards. You're going to love Berry Christmas, which is absolutely adorable. And now I'm playing with Merriest Trees. So if you haven't signed up for the launch on September 12th, if you live in Canada, you're welcome to attend our launch. You can sign up on the Facebook group. We have make and take some prizes, and we'll be live from basically 12 hours that day. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. All right, I'm going to switch over and we will get started. Okay, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm using this kindest expressions today because I'm making a thank you card. I love this. Just really big, nice font, nice sentiments. And it is a rubber stamp. So I like rubber stamps in that you can do this marker technique where you're using markers to color the stamps on photopolymer, but I just find that they work way better when you use them on the rubber stamps. So I'm going to color my letters differently on this, thanks. And it's big enough that you can actually do that because it is actually bigger, 5% bigger than what it shows on here. And I'm also using, these are the nested essential dies. If you haven't seen these, they're kind of standalone dies that came out in the annual catalog. There are 4 sizes of 4 different shapes. I'm using this rounded rectangle shape for my card today. Okay, now what's a 2468 card? Well, basically, you take a piece of designer series paper and you score it at 2, 4, 6, and 8 inches. It is cut, so it is cut 5 1/4 by 12. So we're going to take this piece that's already cut to 5 1/4 and score it. Now, when you score designer series paper, be really gentle because it is, it's a little more delicate than cardstock when you score it. You could actually kind of rip through it or tear through it. So just do a gentle score. So 2, 4, 6, and 8. We'll put this together first and then I can do some decorating. Okay. So now basically you need to decide what side. Isn't this pretty with the daisies? And like I said, it might be Daffodil Delight, but I'm putting it on crushed curry. So this piece, so fold it on, this is the 8-inch score line. So I'm just going to take and burnish it. So I'm folding the long piece inwards, and then it's going to accordion fold like this. And I'm gonna try and get it. Sorry, I'm moving things around here. I'm gonna try and make sure that the, now you may notice, because ideally when you're doing this kind of scoring and it's folding back on itself, you should turn your paper in the opposite, onto the opposite side, so you're always folding into the mountain. And if you looked at my piece of paper, you would actually notice that it is a little off on this edge. But if I had taken it and scored it at scored it in such a way that I was always folding into the mountain, like I did on a couple of these. So on the 2-inch and the 4-inch, I should have flipped it over and scored it on the other side. But anyway, that's okay. So that's kind of the 2, 4, 6, 8 fold. Hey, Betty. And so we're going to take now, first of all, I am going to burnish this really well because it's popping up and I'd like it not to pop up so much. So before I put it onto my card base, I'm going to just really take and burnish those fold lines. There we go. Hopefully that's a little better. Okay, so then this piece is just going to, it's even pretty on the other side. I hadn't really noticed the other side. But you do get all of the same pattern showing when you do this technique. So I'm not sure who's created this fold. The first time I saw it, it was Patty Bennett who showed it off. So you get that side of the designer series paper, and then that side is showing on that side. Okay. So now you can decorate it however you want to. So what I thought I was going to do is stamp the thanks so much and put it on the front. And then I will take and put a piece of, I'm going to cut another piece of the largest of this shape and put it on the inside so that it doesn't show. It will be hidden by this piece. Okay, but before I do that, let's take this piece of basic white, get all the bits off of it. And this is the Thanks So Much stamp set. So I grabbed my Petal Pink and Crushed Curry markers. Like I said, this doesn't work with Stampin' Blends when you color your markers because the alcohol dries too quickly, but it works really well with your markers. So take the brush end of the marker and just kind of go almost flat and color the letters. So I'm going to do every other letter in Crushed Curry. So I'm just coloring these letters. And then I'm going to do the alternating letters in Petal Pink. I'm just trying to make sure that I've covered. And if you want to, you can go back over these D, H, N, and S. All right, I'm going to do this first. So I'm going to huff on it. So just take up with your kind of warm breath. And I'm just, now it's quite light, but it still will work. It's the Petal Pink that is really light. And so now I'm just going to do the whole So Much. I'm going to cut these apart, which is why I'm doing it in 2 steps. All right, and then I'm just going to take and stamp the So Much there. Okay, now let's put our lids on. So I'm going to take my paper snips. And you know me, I like to fussy cut. So we're just going to take this thanks. And I'm going to just, when I first started stamping with Stampin' Up, one of the first things I did was join a marker club. So I actually used to use all of my markers because I didn't have a lot of the I didn't have a lot of the stamp ink pads, and so I used a lot of the markers instead of the ink pads, and it worked so well. We had a lot. I don't even know that we had photopolymer stamps when I first started with Stampin' Up. I think they came in a year or so after that, so it was really easy because that's, you know, all we had. So there we go. Thanks so much. Now I'm going to pop these up using dimensionals. Anyway, it's a great technique if you want to alternate the colors of your letters. And I realized I probably shouldn't have put that dimensional so close to the edge because it's gonna go over the edge on my middle. Let's move them if I can. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to take and adhere this nested shape onto the petal pink one. Like that. So you could do all sorts of decorating with one of these cards, but I'm just kind of keeping it pretty simple using this, what's it called? Kindest expressions. So we'll just do thanks so much. Oopsie, let's get it straight. Would be good. Okay, and then when you adhere this on, I only want to adhere it to half of mine. I find it easiest with dimensionals, but you could glue it, so I only want it on this one side. Like that. It's a bit like a, I guess it's not kind of like a joy fold card, but there are some other fancy folds that do this same technique. Okay, and then the last thing I want to do is I want to cut that largest shape again from a piece of basic white. If you want more room to write a note, you could cut a piece of basic white 4 inches by 5 1/4 and put it on the back. But I'm just going to take and cut out one of these nested essentials. And we can tuck that. There we go. All right, and then we can tuck that behind here so it's hidden and you don't see it. So we'll just take some glue and we'll roughly position it, making sure you get it on the right. So I'm just kind of roughly positioning it behind that petal pink one, and then I'll fold the card base over top of it so I get it hidden. And so now you don't see that shape until you actually open it up. Okay, easy peasy card. Gosh, how fun is that when you find fancy folds or fun folds that are so easy to do? And you could, like I said, you could do this. You could make it much more detailed if you wanted to, but this paper is so pretty, I didn't think it was necessary. Now, I did grab some of the adhesive backed flat pearls. I love these. You can actually color them. So I'm going to take a dark Daffodil Delight. There isn't a dark, there isn't crushed curry in our, and I'm just going to take and color these pearls, 3 of them, in crushed curry, so they don't lose their pearlescence, but they do then get a yellow tinge to them. So I'm just going to put 2, let's see, 2 there, go back, and 1. There it is, right there. There. All right. How quick and easy is that for a fun fold? Pretty card. I kind of wish my my lettering was a little bit. I was tempted to take my my Stampin' Write marker and write on it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to kind of just leave it and have it be very, very subtle, because I think you might not be able to see it real well, but it's not too bad on the actual card. There you go, a 2, 4, 6, 8 fun fold for you to try and to use up some of that designer series paper that you have in your stash. I just wanted to remind you, I know I've talked about it a little bit before, but the stamp count for Creativity Abounds is coming up in October. Registration starts in September when the catalog goes live, and we're using Winter Meadow. So I just wanted to tell you we're using Winter Meadow. If you are a demonstrator and do a pre-order like I did, maybe you want to hold off in ordering. If you do want to attend the stamp camp, hold off on ordering the Winter Meadow suite. Or you can always buy the equivalent, or put an order in for the equivalent amount and still get registered for the stamp camp. But yeah, so it's Winter Meadow. I'm so excited. This Winter Meadow is so pretty. I can't wait to see all of the projects. If you've never attended our stamp camp in the past, we've done, I think this might be number 10. They are really fun. There are 13 demonstrators around the world, and we make 13 bonus projects that we share online with you through the event, as well as 13 make and take. So you end up with 26 projects out of the this time Winter Meadow suite. So if you're interested in it, have never attended, just reach out to me. If you don't live in Canada, I can put you in touch with a demonstrator in your market. But if you live in Canada, you can certainly register through me. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Today's Wednesday. Tomorrow I'll be back with a mystery challenge. I thought I had it. I don't remember whether I have a tic-tac-toe for you or a color challenge. I'll have to look. Anyway, join me tomorrow at 2 o'clock Pacific and we'll find out. Thanks, everybody. Happy stamping. Bye.